Guys, and welcome to another episode of Vlogmas. I think it's 5, yeah, December 5th. So I really want a snack, but I wanted to get all this done first. So we're gonna open some eBay packages first. So these were not Black Friday, just, you know, eBay. So the first one's come from this guy named Michael from Norwich, Connecticut. So I think I need to open this a tad more. Let's see. Oh, this is a thick one. Okay, I found out about this book on a TikTok about like dystopian books, and I do like dystopian, post-apocalyptic, that kind of thing. That's my roots. And this is Songs for the End of the World by Salima Nawaz. This is how quickly he had forgotten a fundamental truth. The closer he got to the heart of calamity, the more resilience there was to be found. So this was written between 2013 and 2019. It's a glittering novel. It's a moving and hopeful meditation on what we owe to ourselves and to each other. It reminds us that disaster can bring out the best in people, and that coming together may be what saves us in the end. I truly believe that. This is so awful. I realized it when Hurricane Helene hit, which I'm in the Carolinas, if you weren't aware. And when that storm hit, it did a ton of damage, you know, and just, it's the worst thing I've seen. We don't need to cry. The worst thing I've seen in such a long time. Like, I don't know what tops it in recent memory, and just seeing these towns completely destroyed and everything, and everyone here came together to help those who lost everything. And then you think like 9/11, a lot of people came together, and just these awful events bring solidarity, like bring everybody together, and it's just so awful that that's what brings people together. So I do think that this book is right about that is what brings people together. But I did not know it was over 400 pages. Like, this is big, but that we love that. So then we have this one coming from X-Lot Mark III delivery service from Springfield Gardens, New York. That makes me think it came from overseas and they just put another sticker on. Oh, I got this one on Amazon, actually. I saw this on what I had ordered, and it wasn't supposed to get here until like way later. So this is a shock to me. And okay, what is this sticky paper? So yeah, this did come from Lincoln, UK. Yeah, Great Britain. And this is The Hired Man by Melvin Bragg. As you can see, this is definitely an older book here. This is a new novel set in his native Cumberland. Covers a period from 1898 to the early 20s. Yes! I love that setting. It tells the story of John Talentire, at 18 years old, one of the thousands of agricultural laborers going to look for employment, and his even younger wife, Emily. John's efforts to break free from the humiliating status of a hired man, first on a hill farm, later in the mines running miles under the sea of the West Cumberland coalfield, form the background of a story whose uncompromising honesty of vision is softened by the author's wonderful recreation of a period now vanished and gift of its scenic description. Oh my gosh, that sounds really good. I don't know when this was published. Let's see if it has it in here. 1969. So 1969, that is an old book there. And I have one more thing that is an ornament that, oh, it's coming from Christine in Big Rock, Illinois. Okay, this is, I have ink all over me. I'm not from that, but oh my, look at the little, thank you, it is in a little baggie. I remember Kendall Jenner thought, might have been Kylie Jenner, thought one of those little bags was so cute. But this little, is it a French bulldog or something maybe? This is a Webkinz ornament because I have some Webkin ornaments and I wanted to buy more, and I hate buying vintage things that are still in the box because I feel bad taking them out of the box. I'm like, you've been in there 20 years and I'm gonna be the one who disturbs that. So I looked specifically for ones that were not in boxes. Look at the little tail. This is the cutest little thing. So I'm going to go put this on my Christmas tree. Not this one, but the one in the kitchen, because that's where I have my other Webkinz ornaments. And oh, I need to tell y'all about what I'm reading. So let's see. But yeah, that little thank you baggie is adorable. Like, I don't want to throw that away. And that's how you become a hoarder. So yeah, I'm like, I can reuse this. Put it in a drawer here. Okay. Now, the book that I'm starting today is Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. Nobody guessed it so far on yesterday's vlog. Yesterday's vlog is actually doing quite well. I didn't expect it to have the numbers that it does right now. But this was shortlisted for the Booker Prize in 2022 and then the winner of the Orville Prize. Again, I'm getting ink everywhere because I use this to blot out the addresses and everything on the packages. But I got this because it was nominated for the Booker, and I think the setting sounds really good. And it's just a short little book here, less than 200 pages. Yeah, 116 pages. And let's see what this description is about. It is 1985 in a small Irish town. During the weeks leading up to Christmas, Bill Furlong, a coal merchant and family man, faces into his busiest season. Early one morning, while delivering an order to the local convent, Bill makes a discovery which forces him to confront both his past and the complicit silences of a town controlled by the church. Ooh. An international bestseller, winner of the Orwell Prize, and shortlisted for the Booker Prize, Small Things Like These is a deeply affecting story of hope and quiet heroism and empathy from one of our most critically lauded iconic writers. Yes, she's been nominated for quite a few awards, and has won, obviously. So I will be starting this today, and there is the audiobook is free with my subscription, so I will be doing the audiobook with it. Again, audiobook is just my favorite at the moment. It's something that is always changing, like my favorite genre, my favorite book length, or my favorite as I was saying, format of reading. So it's definitely evolved. This is a historical fiction book, by the way, but my favorite genre now is literary fiction. I prefer shorter books, and audiobook is my favorite format at the moment. But when I do listen to audiobooks, I do listen and read. Immersion reading, I think is what I heard it called on a podcast last night. So I do like to do all sorts of different things with my reading. So that is the start of the vlog. Once we get into this, I'll probably update y'all, assuming that I read a good chunk of it today. Hey guys, I am here to give y'all my thoughts on Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. I did finish the book. The audiobook is literally like an hour and 57 minutes, I think it was. So very short audiobook. Definitely if you were trying to get to that goal, which I'm not, but I just wanted to read a Christmassy read. This is a great one to pick up. But if you want something short, because how I felt about it, y'all might feel differently. So I give it a 3 out of 5, just a straight up 3, no point anythings. So I liked it, but I don't see myself that's hard because I feel like maybe I could get more and reread, but if I do, I'll probably just pick up the ebook or something. It's only so difficult because that's what I've been doing lately. If it is less than a 4-star on haul, but there's some where I'm just like, I don't know, but we'll let it sit for a little bit and see, because I mean, it's only what, the 5th of the month? Yeah, it's the 5th of December, so I have a long time. I have like 26 days. Yeah, it's 31 days in December. So let's go into my notes. I know I don't have my little stool I can sit it on. I'm going to go through my notes first, since I mean it's literally just a note card of notes, and then we will go through Call Pal, so I'll hold the notes up there. So definitely right time you get into the story. It's really, I said scene set, it should be setting the scene and the world building. Now yes, this is in Ireland in 1985, which I know some of y'all were alive, and Ireland's very much a real place, but world building in historical fiction I do think is important. That's something that a lot of people only associate world building with fantasy books or with sci-fi books, but I really think it's important in all books. But in historical, like I was not here in 1985. I've never been to Ireland, so that is like a whole other world to me, like going to Narnia or something. That's a whole other world that I haven't been to. So going back in time, it's like going to a new world, because this is something I will never get to experience in my life. I can only see it by words on the page, or see it through a movie or something. So world building is really important. And I did give the atmosphere a 5-star. I do think the atmosphere was the best part, but we'll get to that in a minute. And then life is little moments all adding up. Little things might be the most common things, but you couldn't get anywhere without them. So therefore, all those little things are so important because life wouldn't exist without them. This is just some of the stuff that I picked up from the book. And another thing is something that might seem so small, like that he's just giving some of these just coal so they can, because you know Ireland is a cold place, so they're giving coal or logs, you know, lumber, so people will have warmth in their house. That might seem like such a little thing, but think of how important that is, because okay, let's see, this family doesn't have something to keep them warm. Somebody could get pneumonia and then die. I know, dark, and it seems extreme, but that's really just the small things in life. Another theme is this really all that life is? I guess kind of a midlife crisis that our character, is it Bill or Billy? Bill, that he is having. He's really just realizing. And I know it seems like in Europe there was a lot of financial struggles, and I think that might be when like the gap between like middle class and all that happened. I'm not sure, but everything I read that's like in Europe in this time period and watch, but it's always like financial troubles are happening, and maybe his marriage isn't what it once was when they were young. I think a lot of people go through that with relationships, that it's not really what you signed up for after years of together, and sometimes people grow apart. And so he's realizing, he's like, is this really all that life has to offer me? And then I think it's realizing that there's so many people who have it way worse than he does. And I think all this is very important at Christmas time, because he does talk about how Christians don't really treat others like they don't really treat others how they want to be treated. You know, I think that's another big thing in this book, is that they might frown upon people who are less than them, and that Christmas is such a big commercial time of people spending a lot of money and not realizing how privileged that they are. And then this feels like a TV show, like a PBS show. So I'm like, is that episodic? Was this an episodic book? Maybe, I'm not exactly sure yet, but it does mention one of his daughters was watching All Creatures Great and Small, and that's exactly what I meant by it feels like a PBS show. It feels like that show, All Creatures Great and Small, and then there's some others, but like it feels like that vibe, which I know this has a movie adaptation. I meant to watch the trailer before recording this, but I don't even know if there's a trailer yet, but if there is, I would think this would come out at Christmas time. And then I think Miss Wilson is his grandmother. Not going to tell y'all if that theory came true. And then Bill is such a good person. I was thinking about how he just there was one instance where he's one where I told you he was like bringing coal to people's houses and all of that. And the daughter of the family tells him, she's like, my mom said you're a good gentleman and all of that, or a gentleman. And then he is pondering in his head. He's like, why haven't, because, you know, when he's bringing stuff, sometimes these people will give him cookies, or, you know, one even gave him a corduroy jacket for his daughter, a never before worn jacket and all that. And it's so great seeing the kindness in people. But he's like, when he's walking away from the house I just told you about, where the girl said he was a gentleman, he's like, why haven't I been giving these people the sweets and everything that I'm getting? Why am I not giving the people who are less than me the treats and everything? And I do think that's when I realized he's such a good person, because you don't re-gifting is always just like really, it feels really sticky, because people gave you this gift and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. So you feel bad giving it away. And that's like when I've gotten books as gifts and I read them, I don't really like them, I always feel so guilty unhauling. So it really just depends on the person. Like if y'all on YouTube send me something that I will never get rid of, but some books like my dad might have got me, I literally asked him, I was like, are you okay if I unhaul these books? And he's like, yeah, that's fine, I don't care. So, but I completely understand where he's coming from, of he feels like he is a bad person for not giving them the things that others have given him. But he didn't mention that he would feel bad giving gifts away, but I feel bad giving gifts away. So I just, yeah. So let's go through Compound now. So character work, I did give a 4, but now I'm like, what's it a 5? I really, yeah, we might bump that up to a 5. So this might be like a 3.25. But the character of Bill, he's a very layered character. Layers, you know, I'm not saying layered like a Scottish laird, but this is told in third person perspective, but it's at his perspective, you know, the whole time. That's who we're following, is Bill Furlong. So it's just, he has so many layers to him. He has his own struggles, but he is trying to make the world a better place for others. And you can tell that he is honestly just such a kind soul. Even if he has his struggles, he wants to help other people. And I just, yeah, when it said empathy on here, quiet heroism and empathy, that reminds me of my dad. But ooh, should I gift this to somebody? I don't know, I'm having thoughts. But yes, definitely more people need to be like Bill. And then atmosphere, again, I gave the atmosphere a 5-star. I think this is perfect for the Christmas time. I wish I would have read it at nighttime, because it just seems like kind of dark. Like, not dark as in like it's a dark story, no, but it is, I have a picture in my head of this town, and I picture just being like very like overcast, and you know, the time of day when the sun, it's at dusk till dawn. Yeah, so dusk, I think that's dusk. Like that time of day is what I'm picturing. And when the lights of the city are just starting to turn on. So this was a very atmospheric book, definitely atmospheric. And as I said, I think it did a great job with setting the scene and the world building. And then the writing, as I said, I think the writing was good. It felt episodic though, and it did feel kind of choppy, but I do think it was reflective writing. And then the plot, I told you all the themes that I picked up on. So it just was like a classic Christmas story, that there is just a lot to be learned from this book. And I think a lot of people, it would just make a lot of people reflect. I was going to say like wake up. And then, but the intrigue, I felt like with plot, this could have just been longer and I would have felt more towards it rather than just feeling kind of bland. I just think maybe add another 100 pages and I think I could have just connected and cared more about the story. And then yeah, intrigue. It's just, again, it says quiet heroism. I think this is definitely a quiet book, which again, I've been describing so many books as quiet lately, but that's what it is. But you know, I think this time of year is just a quiet time of year in general. So I did like this book, and now that I'm sitting here talking about it, I feel like I liked it maybe a little more than the 3 stars. So I might need to reevaluate that. So I'm thinking maybe like a 3.25. We'll just have to do math and see what happens. I'm gonna go write my review now, take the picture for Bookstagram. But I will be ending this vlog here. I don't know what I'm going to be reading next. To let y'all know, I am going to Virginia tomorrow. I have not been to Virginia since 21, so 3 years. It was December of 2021. It was when I last went, and I was in DC. And I'm going to Southern Virginia this time, which I have not been there in like 20 years. It's been a long time. And I'm really excited because that's like where my family's from. And I cannot wait to see all these places from my family's stories and everything. And I've seen pictures, and it's going to be seeing them in person. Because again, the last time I went there I was a kid, and I remember some things. Like I remember Jamestown. They have like a statue of Pocahontas there. And I remember this really awesome playground I went to. So, and there were some other things, but in different places where I'm not going on this trip. But I am really excited, and just to see all these places. But I don't know what I'm going to do with my reading. So I'm definitely going to have my ebook with me, which is this book. So I don't think I'm going to bring the physical book with me. I think I'm just going to have my notes on my phone, and then when I get back, because I'm not going to be there long, but and it's not that far either. So when I get back, just put all my annotations in. So I don't know if because I was like, I'm just gonna read this all weekend, and I finished it in a day. So, or like literally in like 2 hours. So I don't know if I'm gonna bring a book with me. I'm looking at my TBR over there. I don't want to bring any of those big fantasy books with me. Maybe my graphic novel. I just don't want to bring the fantasy because, again, world building, I am going to be in a completely new atmosphere in the book and in person. But so I think that might just be a little overstimulating for me at the moment, like when I'm on the road. So I think I'm going to bring my graphic novel with me because I think that will just be easier to read. And I don't think that would make me car sick if I tried to read in the car, which I don't think I'm going to try to read in the car because, again, I told you it's not that far. But that is all for this video. If you made it all the way through, leave a Christmas emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!